Ramayan epic Aranya Kanda part 2. I don't think it is a genuine deer. See the way it glances at us from the time to time. I have feeling that it must be a demon wearing the disguise of a deer. Don't get carried away by it look. He cautioned the other two. But Sita looked sad. Meanwhile, the deer strolling away temptingly. Ram did not want to disappoint Sita for her simple request. To him, it sounded that in the company of this deer, Sita could pass her time happily. He told Lakshman to take care of Sita and not leave her even for a moment. Then raced after the deer. The deer looked back over its shoulder. On seeing Ram came to her, it ran fast. Ram chased it. The deer ran through the tree and leapt over the thicket, making it trickly for Ram, but all the same, Ram did not give up. He cautioned to pursue the animal. By then, the deer had taken Ram too far away from his hut. Ram was breathless. He stood painting for a second or so. Then he recollected what Lakshman had said. I have a feeling that it must be a demon wearing the disguise of a deer. It seemed right. No sooner this thought came to Ram, he quickly fired an arrow at the fleeing deer. Hit by the arrow, the deer pitched face down on the ground and rolled over, kicking up a cloud of dust. The next moment, the deer modulated its voice at that of Ram and yelled, O Sita and Lakshman, I am in deep trouble come. The next moment, the deer attained the original form of Maricha before he fell down dead. Rama was now sure that it was a trick played by the demon to drag him, Ram, away from the other two. And the shout of Maricha in his voice was yet another move to drag Lakshman also away from Sita. If so, Sita was in danger now. The next moment, Ram turned and darted back to the hut. At this hut, Sita and Lakshman also heard a distress call that sounded very much like Ram's. While Lakshman paid no attention to it, Sita got worked. Lakshman did not hear the distress call from your brother. I am worried, go and help, will you? She pleaded. I don't believe it at all. None can ever harm Ram. I tell you, it's a trick the demon play to the use unsettled us. But Sita looked upset. She even chided Lakshman that he was not interested in Ram. Sita's harsh words hurt Lakshman. At the same time, he knew it was not a wise thing to leave Sita alone and go after Ram. All right, he said as he took his arrow and drew a semicircle line in front of the hut. This is better known as Lakshman Rekha in any Ramayan. Whatever happens, do not stop out of this line. So long as you stay inside it, nothing bad will happen to you. At the same time, if anyone steps in he will be reduced to ashes. Saying this, he grabbed his arrow and bowed and raced deep inside the forest search of Ram. Raman was watching all his from behind the tree. This first part of the plan had worked out of successfully. He had dragged Ram and Lakshman away. Then Sita was all alone. It all depended on how he implemented the rest of the plan. He chanted a few mantras, laws. The next moment he had changed his appearance. Now he was dressed like saint, old aged, very feeble, and crippled too, with a bowl in hand, asking for form. Satisfied that he could not fool Sita, he went to the hut, but on seeing the Lakshman Rekha, he hurriedly stepped back, sat on the ground and called. From inside, she heard his call. She came out and saw his poorly status. She felt sorry for aged saint and took some food for him. At the line drawn by Lakshman, she paused and told the saint to come forward, but the old saint indicated his twisted leg and said that he could not make it and pleaded her to come to him, and he stretched his bowl expectantly. This moved Sita. He remembered Lakshman warning she said was not supposed to step across the line. The old saint looked disappointed and still crouching. He went dragging himself away. It was like a slap of Sita. She felt ashamed of herself for not feeling the poor old saint. Hold on. He called and stepped out of the line and approached. The next moment, the saint changed his appearance. Now, in his place stood the formidable demon, King Ravan. Sita reared back and horror. But Ravana grabbed her hand and huddled her in his waiting chariot. The next moment his chariot took off and flew back the way it had come. Not knowing that Sita was being abducted, Ram and Lakshman ran into each other by the side of a stream. They paused, painting. What happened to you? Asked the Lakshman. After a quick decision, they realized there was something phony and rushed back to the hut. But their dismay, they found Sita missing. They searched far and wide, but there was no sign of her. For a brief moment, the two sat worried, they getting their feel. Then they around inquired every animal and bird he wrote about Sita, but no one knew anything about her. Yet they did not give up hope. They kept going farther. As they were passing near a bush, there came the morning sound. They looked around at the spitted and injured bird. It was a big one, almost looked like a venture. Its name was Jatu. It was not only the king of birds, but also good friend of Ram's father Dasharatha. The two squatted down beside Jatu and brushed it tenderly. Jatu was very badly wounded, bleeding profoundly. On seeing Ram, Jatu spoke up, breathing heavily. It was Ram. He had abducted Sita in Pushpaka Viman. I tried my best to prevent him in this couple that because he had cut my wings and stabbed me in his sword. Ravan had taken Sita to Lanka. I saw him fly past the ocean, go to the Lanka and you will find Sita. It was tried of Jatu, dropped dead. Ram and Lakshman cremated Jatu body and performed the last rite with heavily heart and took a dip in the river. Now they knew that Sita was in the custody of the demon king at Lanka. But how to free her from Ravana's clutches? There were too many hurdles. They had to tackle many hurdles like a big ocean. The location where Sita kept, but demon army so many things. But tones of disturbing thoughts they kept when suddenly there was a rustle of leaves nearby stopped them. They looked in the direction. What they saw was a dreadful sight. A huge demon resembled a form of crab, however, full of hair all over its body with a big mouth and one eye and towering them. If had two if he had two hands with which it caught, could Ram and Lakshman in no time and was about to put them its mouth, then they two yanked out their swords and cut its hand.